Okay, this is about deleting the cruise control. And the problem is that the speedometer cable is two-part. You can see, I just stuck this in here. Then it goes to there, it ends there. So on a cruise control, that goes to the transmission, and from the speedometer it goes to here. You know, I've been watching some of my videos. I'm getting old. I'm saying sometimes the wrong words, so I can't help it. Like the other day, I watched the video and I said something about sliding the bumper bracket inside. Well, obviously you can't slide it inside. It's got to be on the outside. So I just say stupid things like that, and I call things the wrong name. Something to do with age. So sorry about that. You're just gonna have to overlook it if you watch this. So anyway, do I need a longer cable or not? This I know this cable is going to be too short. So I look online and there's a bunch of conflicting information. So, but going over to the car here, turn the light on. Well, first I'll show you on this other car. This other car did not have cruise control. So, if you don't have cruise control, I don't know if I can hold this light. If you don't have cruise control, it goes in here. So here's where the, and I also call this a fuse block, but it's not. I didn't mean that. It's a connecting terminal between the firewall, the inside and the outside. I don't know, the fuse, not a fuse block, a electrical connection box. Anyway, so non-cruise control, it comes in through here. But if you look real close right here, you can see there's a delete plate for cruise control. So that's where I need to come out. I mean, I don't need to. No, that's where I need to that's where I need not to come out. And one of the reasons is this has got kind of a natural angle to it. See the way the sheet metal's bent? So it's going to come out and go down like that. This one's coming straight out. So I'll never be able to make that bend. So going back to the car I'm working on, looking down in there, you see that cable coming out? That's the one that's coming straight out. And down below, if you can see it, that's the one I need to come out of. And see, the cable ends here. So the cruise control is mounted somewhere in this area. I can't remember. Just by looking in at the holes that are in this, it might have been here. So anyway, I gotta figure out which is the right cable. It's just a matter of getting the right length. I've seen there's 62 inches, 72 inches. They have terms like lower cable, upper cable. So the lower and upper cable has to be for the cruise control. So this would be the upper cable. Also, show you a picture on my phone. That's the clip that, if you look on the back of your speedometer, That should be on there. That's what captures the cable. So I do have that. So all I need to do is go from there through the other hole, as I showed over there, and hook it up. Also, you know, I was talking about yesterday, if you watch it, that I had to put this in. I couldn't. This is another thing you got to put in before you put your hood on and your hinges. This is that block. I just don't know a different term, which is right here. So connection block. I mean, I'm sure there's another term, but I don't know what it is. So make sure you get the, if you did like I did and you took apart your car, make sure you get this on first. And looking at these terminals, they look kind of corroded or whatever. So I'm going to clean those. I'm also going to hook up like a test light. I'm going to hook onto each one of these leads, put a test light out here, like to a battery, and then I'll just go to the other end of the wire. So let's just say I don't want to have to trace every color. So I'll just hook up to, let's say, that one, and I'll touch a probe to the other end with the light, and the light should go on. That'll tell me that that is that, and that'll also tell me that the wire is good. I still got to identify what is what. Like what is that? I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna guess. Well, here the cruise control is 3 wires. So anyway, I got a few things to do. So yeah, I took the hood back off, took this hinge back off, and I'm just gonna make sure that I do everything before I put the hood on, like this wiper motor. That'll be a bitch. I mean, it's doable, but I better get me a new wiper motor, because that one was rusted, like everything in this car. And I'll get the wiring harness in here. And there's a couple clues left. Like, here's a I'll let you call it a cable clamp. So something went there. Anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on next. And again, I'm just sharing this stuff for anybody that might be going through what I do. You know, I see it, like for instance, I see they sell Mustang shells, like a Shelby shell, for instance, 67 or something. Well, yeah, you get the shell, but then you got to figure out where every piece goes. So that's kind of what I'm showing, because this was stripped down to nothing. Another thing, while I'm thinking of it, you see these two things here. I think I went over it in a different video, but there was an AC box here, and those were on the outside of the AC box. So I just cut it into this AC delete box, and I'm just going to plug the wires in, and I'm not exactly sure what to do. I think one's a resistor, one's some kind of a speed sensor, fan motor speed sensor. Oh, by the way, I sandblasted those. This sandblaster is great. You can sandblast connections. You can sandblast rubber. It doesn't hurt it at all. Let's see, the fiberglass you can sandblast. We did it the other day to these. These are fiberglass. Did not hurt it at all. It's a good way to clean a lot of things you think you couldn't clean. For instance, I could stick this, I'm pretty damn sure I could stick this right into my sandblaster. you know, kind of leave the door open. And I could sandblast this whole thing clean. Now this stuff on here, I don't know, maybe it's a dielectric grease. But man, it's just, it's filthy. If I can do a close-up. Now here's the back. This is some kind of old sealant or something. So really, I guess I'm gonna make this short. But that's the only bolt you have to connect all these together. So yeah. So getting back to the beginning of this video, make sure you have this in. Make sure you get the cable in, because it's a bitch later. I mean, I guess I can get part of it from underneath. Let's see, look at it again. Shine a light in there. And I could reach. Let's see, if I was underneath, it'd be like doing it by braille. So anyway, make sure you get this box, this connection box in. Make sure if you get cruise control, make sure you get the new cable in into the lower hole. I'd say hook up your linkages like I did in other videos. Get your distributor in. I guess I'll have to get my vacuum hose in. I think that goes up to, I'm not sure where that goes. Probably ported vacuum or full-time vacuum. So probably to here, right where the light's shining. Just anything that you're gonna have to, anything that's gonna make the hood in the way if you're doing this by yourself, because it's a bitch by yourself. Again, make sure you get your fan in, your fan box. I guess this is all obvious. That wire is just sticking in the end of the pipe. So I'll make sure I hook these to the water pump, and the other one goes to, actually, this hose sitting here. I had to buy a bent hose because of the distributor. If you get a straight, that hose will get a factory bend in it. So this is just going to go over to one of these. Forget which one right now. I think probably this one. Just clean it up. So yeah, now I decided I gotta start thinking about what I gotta do, because I don't want to fight the hood in the way, and if you're by yourself, you can't move the hood around. Luckily I got Joe around to help me right now. And that's it. You know, these things here that, you see this bracket on the end of the hinge? This is the hood hinge. This actually slips right into there. I don't know if I can compress this. Let me see. See, it's not a perfect lineup, and I don't know what that means. Should it be? I don't know. See if I can undo this. I think I'll... Again, in the end, what matters is that your hood line lines up. So But you can see it was designed to go right in there. Maybe that's to keep your hood from flying up. I don't know. Or to hold your hood down. Don't know. Let me try it one more time. Man, it's hard to do with one hand. So I'm just looking at it thinking, I can't move this that way because then the hood would be too far to the right. Anyway, every piece is there for a reason. What it is, I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess I need to get this weather stripping on here too. I mean, I could do it later, but I guess I could do it anyway. You know, I got the hood fitted. I don't need to leave I can leave the hood off now. I just wanted to get the fenders on. Just talking to myself. Anybody else might be watching this stuff to think about. Yeah, I could still get the front. I still could put the radiator in, the bumper, the headlight. So I'm changing what I said. Yeah, one more time. Get your fenders back on. Get your hood in. Get it aligned before you do any of this stuff that I'm talking about right now. Because the more this gets all connected. Because I don't want to move this fender again. That's it. It's staying where it is. But now that the hood's fit, I can leave it off. I could leave it off till the car. I mean, I could leave it off forever, but you get my point. Anyway, I'm just sharing what I'm learning. You know, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Still got to take parts off of here. So I got a bunch of little stuff I'll be doing for a while. There's no rush. What you don't want, when I used to be in construction, I had a saying, don't make yourself suffer. Try to do things in some kind of order. Like, I don't want to take the hood on and off 50 times because I keep forgetting stuff. Unless you got a brother or, you know, a son or a girlfriend who wants to help you take the hood off and on. That's it. Oh yeah, I'm just adding some more stuff. Again, look at this in a couple of years and I'll remember what the heck we were doing. Yeah, I was talking the last video about this tumbler, and he's got that many tools cleaned up. That's how they look. You just stick them on this thing. And by the way, in case you didn't watch the video, you might want to go back on the tumbler. I mean, it's spread out because we remodified it, but it's basically an engine. I mean, it's a truck rim with a compressor body, like a DeWalt compressor body. That cone we made out of a plastic bucket. It's got rubber isolators cut out of a tire, you know, like the sidewall. And then like a 1/2 horsepower motor welded to the bottom with a counterweight. So the motor doesn't heat up. The first motor we put on was the compressor motor that just overheated. So it's just a counterweight, a rim, a motor with a counterweight, with tire isolators, and that cone, and those beads inside, those pieces inside are this stuff from Harbor Freight in the blue bottle. And in fact, I just bought a new compressor today for $50 because this shop is down below the house. This compressor is lower, but that's what it looked like when it started. Kind of like that, but this is a smaller. The red part is smaller on this one. Anyway, why I turned this back on is I was just thinking that when I got this blue car, there was a wiring harness laying inside, or the trunk. So if any of these wires are bad, or connectors are bad, or I need a test light connection, or I want to delete something that I don't need, I got spare parts. Again, that's why I bought this car, just for spare parts, to see how things went together, and then I'm just slowly going to chop it up, I think. And here's the lights there in the trunk. There's some rust. What I did before is there is still going to be rust inside. You can't get rid of all the rust. It's impossible. I mean, if they're selling cars, if you want to go out and spend 40 grand for a car, there's still going to be rust up inside here that you just can't see. But here, just spray some rust killer on it, and then come back. If it comes through again, spray it again. So I went over the whole car, and that's why it's all blotchy and so on. This isn't rusting yet. If it was rusting, I'd sand it and spray it until I got back to it. But yeah, that stuff really works. Yeah, this was all had surface rust. Typical video of mine, I keep jumping around. But if it could just help one person, that's what I'm really doing it for. Anybody that might need some kind of reference and a documentary for me, and I guess that's it. Okay, this is a little bit later in the day. So I got under the dash. This is the part that goes into the speedometer. There's a little clip that I showed earlier. All you do is push it in, and this will pull right out. So now I'm trying to figure out what size cable. So there was a plug on the inside. Let me see if I can show. There was a lower plug, like I was showing earlier, or I couldn't really see it, but let me see if I get a good shot of this. So that's the lower plug right there in front of you, and right above it is the upper plug. You can see a hole. So you see this one down here is aiming down towards the transmission. I mean, it looks like there's only about 4-inch difference. But the problem is, I'll show you. So I'm trying to work out the cable length. So going back to the cables, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this cable in the lower hole, snap it back in, run it towards the transmission as far as it'll go. It's got the wrong connection, I think, but it's too short. But anyway, I'm going to run it down towards the transmission, and then I'm going to take this other cable, the lower cable, I'm going to screw it into the transmission, and then just wherever the two cross, that'll give me I'll just subtract, and that'll be my length. But the reason I'm going to put this one back in is because it has to fish through there a little bit different, I think. Anyway, when I'm done, I'll give you the length. But you can't, so let me just add this. This is the upper cable, this is the lower cable. Upper, that means to the speedometer. Lower means this went to the transmission, to the speed control. This one almost looks long enough, but the problem is I don't have the right end on here, because I need that fitting. So I guess once I get them crossed underneath, I'll show you. One more thing before I forget. This is the plug I pushed out from inside the car, where I'm going to have to mount the cable. And this is the grommet that was in the existing cable. It looks like I'm going to be able to take this plug and plug up the upper hole, if you know what I mean. So make sure if you get a new cable, I'm sure that it's going to come with a plug on it. I mean, because you can't slip this plug on. You can't slip this plug off. They put this grommet on, and then they crimp the end. So, but I guess in a pinch, you just got to do whatever you got to do. But hopefully, when I figure out this length, it comes with one of these on here. And later on, I'll try this to plug up the old hole. And one more thing, for anybody trying to do this, you stick your hand down in here, you can get the cable in. That's what I did. And then I just swung it over. If you can see, let's see this linkage here. Keep it on the inside of that this linkage. That's that piece I added in earlier in another video. That's the reverse lockout, I think they call it. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this running. So here's where it ties into the transmission. Again, this is the lower cable. I'm trying to get a length. The best I can do. Tilt it up a little bit. Gotta find a flashlight. And it slips through this clip right here. So it just winds around. And here's the other cable coming down. There's no clip here I can see. The point I'm trying to make is that you see how long, I don't know if you can see it, but I got like 3 feet of cable hanging here. So I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna get a zip tie and zip them together what I think the length should be. And then I'll know. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to see too much, but so I got the exhaust manifold. Again, I'm putting on the HO manifold that came on, I don't know, let's call them HO. You see in another picture, I just want to make sure that my cable, that's where it's going to go. Here's the cable right here. I got it zip tied together here and here, if you can see that. And that'll give me my length. So I got a nice clean, it's not hitting the linkage, it's not hitting the intake, it's not hitting the steering. So I measured the 2 cables before I put them in. So now I just figure out what it is, and now I know. Take this back out. Again, these exhaust manifolds will slip right in. I'll show you what it looks like. showed in earlier pictures, earlier videos. This is the HO manifold. It's got a D port, not a round, because that's what this engine has. The weird thing is it's only got 1, 2, 3, 5 bolts. I think the other one only has 4. And while I'm at it, I had to reroute my fuel return line. You can't see it now, but let me see, where am I? Let's see if I can see my hand. I routed this line through here. It used to be, the way it's stock, is it's supposed to go up through there. But when I put the manifold on, there was only like a ½ inch. That would have boiled the fluid, in my opinion. So just a little bit more close up, if I get another angle of this. So here's the cable coming down from the speedometer. That's the upper. Again, this we're talking about cruise control. Here's the lower. So let me get my measurements. So this upper cable was 40 inches. I got this flex stuff that they put around the fuel lines. So 40 inches from here. I better start, let's see. $40 plus this, not much. That's shorter than I thought it was going to be. Let me double check it again. I gotta turn this off. So 40 plus this. We'll just call it 2 feet, I think. 40 plus 22, that's 62, maybe 64. That's the length it should be. Now we'll see what they sell. Somewhere around 62 to 64, a little bit less, a little bit more. That's the right cable.